the gold standard of taking care of local independent businesses all across Raleigh and Wake County. So very, very glad to be with you all today. We have been working over the past 18 to 24 months to develop a whole bunch of new resources and tools for small businesses. So I thought it would be worth giving you all an update of what all we have going on these days. So I guess the first place I wanted to go was, we have a little, I guess, a canned presentation just to give you I guess, general landscape of what we do here. So I will get that available for the screen, and hopefully this will all work well. Let's see here. So I can do a share screen, and I can go click this window there, and hopefully you all can see something at this point. All right, can you see that okay?
No, it's not showing on our end.
It's not showing. All right, let's see here. And if not, then I can probably just talk my way through it, but it'll be not anywhere near as interesting. Well, it is not cooperating. So I'm just going to forget about that. Let me try that. Did that do anything?
Yes, there we go. Now you're
sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right now, put it in screen view. Hopefully that's better. Okay. This may just work after all. And then I'll go ahead and hide my window here. Okay. So we are looking after these small businesses I just described. The way we do this is through programs, partners, and resources. So programs would be tools that we have that actually have some financial capability. Partnerships, like I explained, were the many organizations we work with. Resources would be more informational and tools for small businesses. Are you able to see, are the slides progressing?
Yes.
Perfect. I've embarrassed myself with that before. So let's talk about programs first. Building Upfit Grant is probably the most well-known and well-used tool that the city has at our disposal. It's pretty narrow in scope, and that's because there's a lot of restrictions the state of North Carolina puts on the city to give away public tax money to private entities. So we had to design these programs within those parameters. Building Upfit Grant is for the classic use would be a new business trying to start up, get into a new space and build it out. That can be really expensive for a small business to do that. So the city kicks in up to $25,000 in matching funds with renovations and upfits to create a new business, create new jobs, create new economic development activity. There's lots and lots of requirements and rules. So I would just suggest going to the webpage that has all of that stuff in it. And if you are live today on, what is it, July the 16th, we are currently in our summer application period, which is open until Sunday the 21st. So if you are interested, and this seems like it would be a good fit, the pre-application is super easy. We designed it so you could probably knock it out in 10, 15 minutes max. And then if you do qualify and make it through screening, then a more involved application would follow. But that's Building Upfit Grant. It's for interiors of buildings to create new business activity. We have recently put online the companion program, the Facade Grant, which is for exteriors of the building. Works very similarly. That grant cycle is now coordinated with Building Upfit Grant, and those applications are open as well until Sunday. And this grant can also include qualified art or murals if that is going to greatly enhance the appearance of a facade. The keys for this program is they need to be on public, visible from public right of way, and that's pretty much it. And signs are excluded from the program. And both programs are targeted in our priority areas of economic development. These are based on census tracts throughout the city with various economic indicators. So the green areas are where the programs can be maximized from a dollar perspective. If you're in an area that is not a green area, you're still eligible for the programs, but the dollar limits are a little bit lower, and the thresholds are a little higher to become qualified. But the whole city is at least has access to these programs. The current calendar for the upcoming application cycles are, as you can see here. So again, we're in the middle of the first fiscal year, first quarter of the fiscal year that just started July 1st. Okay, so that's programs. Next, we're going to talk about partners, and you'll probably recognize some of these from, I think really the closest relationships we have are with what we refer to as business alliance partners. So these are organizations with direct outreach to small businesses, maybe a directory, maybe a roster of small businesses. So this would include everything from like a Chamber of Commerce kind of setup. Shop Local Raleigh is certainly in this universe, as well as geographically based organizations like Hillsborough Street or Blue Ridge or Downtown Raleigh Alliance, North Raleigh Chamber of Commerce, and so on and so forth. We also have some citywide interests that are more, I guess, focused in interest areas. Triangle Artworks is an organization that is focused on artists, where their concept is pretty cool of having even their technical resources, they're artists as well. So everyone knows how to speak the same language. The Harmony LGBT Chamber, Visit Raleigh, also known as the Convention Visitors Bureau, Raleigh Economic Development housed in the chamber. All of these, along with North Carolina Hispanic Chamber, all of these are citywide, and most of these organizations go beyond the city of Raleigh city limits. But all great to know about, and there's no rule that says you can only work with one. The more help you can get out there, the better. So these are the partners we work with. From an entrepreneurial support organization perspective, these are organizations behind the scenes that most small businesses don't know about. And most of them are free of cost, no cost to a business owner. They're funded through local or regional or federal dollars through the Small Business Administration. Wake Tech has their Entrepreneurial and Small Business Center, which is one of our key go-to partners. If an entrepreneur is trying to figure out how to get a business started, they are an excellent resource for that. Small Business Technology Development Center has their SBTDC organization based out of Centennial Campus. Here in Raleigh, there's a business line 800 number that the EDPNC runs. Women's Business Center focuses on minority and women-owned businesses, and so on and so forth. I won't read the whole list to you, but just know there's a whole constellation of organizations out there that they can help with anything from trying to figure out how to get better uptake on your Instagram, to if your profit and loss statement's out of whack, or you're just trying to figure out how to create a profit and loss statement, they can assist with some of that. And then some of them are capable of going a step beyond that and helping with looking forward strategies and ways to make your business successful. And by the way, all the stuff I'm telling you throughout this presentation is available on our homepage. I'll talk more about that when we're done. From a resource perspective, this is where we have really been focusing a lot of our energy, because 2 years ago, we didn't really have anything in the way of informational resources, and we knew that that was a problem. So we wanted to get started with things like a business resource guide, which is a kind of a handy one-stop shop booklet that the city puts out. We also have small business training, which is a library of workshops and webinars, including, I guess this one will end up there eventually, where we try to scoop up content from all of our partner organizations. The startup roadmaps and some of our startup tools on our webpage. We have two models that are now published. One is for if you're trying to start up a retail bricks and mortar, or if you're trying to start up a restaurant bricks and mortar. There's a step-by-step guide that includes not only city requirements, but also things like, think about a restaurant, you're going to have city permits to build it. You're going to have county health inspections. You're going to have ABC board stuff, and so on and so forth. So these are roadmaps that show you how to get through that whole process and be a little more successful getting your business open faster and more sustainably. We also have the small business ecosystem event calendar. I'll show you that live. There's a QR code there you can capture if you like as well. We also have self-service tools. The city has invested in some technology tools that will help small businesses get dynamic market data. So this is the kind of information in the past only the really big companies could get with the big accounting firms, consulting firms. We've invested in some technology that make similar information available for the smallest small businesses. We can probably step through a little demo of that if time allows, and I think it will. And it looks sort of like that when you get in there. That's not a live version of it, but it has heat maps. It can benchmark your business revenue against other revenues across the city. It can help you find customers, optimize your advertising. And on the webpage where all of this stuff lives, we do have a number of video resources provided by the technology developer who knows a lot more about the tool and is able to speak to it more efficiently than certainly I am here today. But just know that these resources are out there, including some learning aids to help you navigate the tool and use it effectively. Our newest addition to the toolkit is the Small Business Advisor, which is similar. It has a modular approach to all the different types of questions that small businesses run into. And if you click through the different boxes, it'll have best practices. It'll have, some of them will just have some information, a couple paragraphs of things to think about. Others will have connections back to things like the heat map you were just looking at and live data. But it's a pretty powerful resource. And we felt like it was definitely worth the investment of the city's part to provide this service for our small business community. And by the way, this does not cost a business owner anything. A business owner doesn't have to create an account. You don't have to identify yourself. You can do this anonymously. It's designed to be, very easy to access without any hurdles or, worry about going down or getting stuck with signing up for a bunch of stuff that you don't want to sign up for. Available 24/7. You can use it at your convenience. Let's see. This is kind of a summary view of all the stuff on our website. And if I can get lucky twice, I can go ahead and walk through a little bit of that with a screen share as well. But all this stuff is available online. Carl and Jocelyn are the two lead people on the grant programs for building upfit and facade grant in that order. So you'll have that information handy as well. And I think that's all we've got. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen and I will pause for a moment. We're about a quarter way through the hour. That's sort of the crash course of what all we do here in small business development. And I can start stepping through some of the website live stuff, but I thought I would take a breath here. So far, so good. Everyone's good with where we are, or any questions I can help address at this moment? Okay, I will take that as a keep going, Mark. So let's see if I can do this again with the screen share and go back to Where is my screen? Hold, please. Out of that. Out of that. Out of that. All right. So I am going to attempt to share our small business page. Did it work?
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. All right. Now, hopefully this will update as well, and I won't run into trouble with this. But this is our home page. We have a QR code that I'll hold up in front of the screen later that you can find it. But basically, go to raleighnc.gov. That's a whole bunch of gobbledygook there. If you just go to raleighnc.gov and go away, there's this little magnifying search glass thing. You can just type in small business. It will bring you here. And oh, by the way, in case you have business owners who you know who maybe English is not their primary language, we do have this language widget that can translate anything on the city webpage into, I think, 55 different languages. So just know that that's there, if that could be of value. So can you see the blue squares on here now?
Yes.
Okay, so it's working. So this is sort of our speed dial list here. And then if you scroll further down, you can see all those green squares that were on that other page. We actually have so many, we have 2 pages worth now, but we'll step through these a little bit more intentionally. So the first places that businesses really want to know about are at the top here, and they're just kind of dredged up from the ones down here that are more alphabetical. But I'll just click quickly on them just so you can get a feel of what they look like. Did it flip pages to the entrepreneurial page?
Yes.
Okay, it's totally working. So this is where it has a little bit about each of the entrepreneurial support organizations we talked about. So a small business owner can read a little bit more about, hopefully helping you find which one you want to, that you think would be the best fit for what you're trying to do. It's a pretty long list. We have links to all of them, so you can go live to their respective websites. And it's a very, hopefully it'll be a very helpful resource for the small businesses. The next one on the speed dial list is our small business event calendar, which I had to double check before this session to make sure I wasn't going to totally embarrass myself. But as you can see, our Tech Tuesday seminar is on the calendar. So let me back up a little bit and tell you what this calendar is all about, if you're not aware of it. So one of the things we recognized in our small business ecosystem that we all work in to provide support is that all the organizations like, the city does some of this, Shop Local Raleigh has events, networking events, training events, vendor events where maybe, there's a street festival or a place where someone can set up and sell stuff and do business, annual meetings, informational stuff. All these things are going on all around us. And there's probably all those organizations I just scrolled through, all of the business alliances, there's probably 36 organizations doing this stuff. And if you're a small business owner, first of all, you probably have no idea any of these organizations exist. And second of all, even if you do, if you wanted to try to figure out, what was coming up this week, you would have to be spending hours of just hopping around different websites trying to figure out, how they do, how they list their events, how they organize information. And we realize that's a really big waste of time for small business owners. So what the city has done is we've made our best effort to try to figure out what events are going on everywhere all the time. I'm not going to guarantee we catch all of them, but I think we do a pretty good job of capturing a lot of them. And what we do is put them on our city website. This is public. Any small business owner can get to it and find it, and at any given time, see what's happening. You can sort it by, are you just looking for training events? You can just find the training events. Are you just trying to find, networking events, vendor events? Or you can just show them all. You can also look at it in a calendar view. So did that work? I'm hoping it did. Where you can see basically here we are on the 16th. There's something coming up tonight. There's a bunch of stuff coming up next week. There's stuff coming up the week after that. And then, a business owner could just click on the event and find out, hey, look, there's Tech Tuesday. Something about the city resources is getting presented today. So we hope that this is a valuable tool. I think that most businesses still have no idea that this tool exists. So please help us get the word out about this calendar to the small business community, because we think that it's a valuable way to keep up. And just for reference, we've over the past year, we've identified on the average, any given week in the city of Raleigh, a small business owner could go to 2 different training events any given week, at least one networking event any given week. So there's always something to go that is going on that can help small business owners learn more about how to run their businesses more effectively, make connections with other people in the same, kind of businesses, so they could compare notes and maybe, avoid running into problems that other peers have run into. We hope that this is a useful resource for our small business owners out there. So that's the calendar. Let's go back to our blue squares. The next one, I'm going to save the insights for last. Actually, I'm going to go back to the small business training resources. So this is sort of the companion site for what we were just looking at with the calendars. I'll pause for a second. Did we make it to the small business training resource page?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry to keep asking, but I've done this before where I'm talking and then somebody after 40 minutes says, hey, Mark, are you showing any slides? So this is a similar page where just like today, we're recording this session right here. Shop Local Raleigh is going to have it published on your website, along with all the other content that you've recorded in the past. There's many other entrepreneurial support organizations doing the exact same thing, doing webinars, posting it, and small business owners have no idea any of the stuff is out there. So we've created this page on the city website to help small businesses find that these are tools that are actually on the city website. We have recorded content from Carolina Small Business Development Fund, Downtown Raleigh Alliance, Triangle Artworks, more and more and more. And of course, Shop Local Raleigh, your content is here as well. And the cool thing about this page, it includes the library of stuff that you all have recorded, as well as it has the click-through box that'll show future events coming up with Shop Local Raleigh. And then each of the organizations, if someone who is running a small business doesn't even know what these organizations are and what you do, we wanted to make sure they could click a box and actually get to some general stuff about what your organization does. So that's how that web page works. Both of these are, we believe, one-stop shop tools, the calendar and the training resources. I don't believe you're going to find this anywhere else in the city or in the ecosystem. So this is where we're really working hard to try to get the word out that these exist. They're available. They are manual projects for us to keep up with. So sometimes we miss stuff. If we do, please forgive us, but just let us know what we're missing and we'll be happy to add it to the calendar. Let's see, small business startups. So this is going to be a little more specialized. Most of the folks on today are probably already operating your businesses. But I had mentioned this before, where if you are just trying to figure out how to start up a business, it can be a daunting challenge of even knowing where to start. So what we have created is we're starting with a series of roadmaps. We're hoping to get built out to maybe between 6 and 9 different modules. The first one, I'll just kind of flip through it just to give you a flavor of what we've put together. But it has these little bookmark jumps you can do, or you can just kind of scroll through, and everything from planning your business in the first place, trying to find a space for your business, things to think about, zoning, blah, 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 how to plan your space, design it, the permits you're going to need, the rules you're going to have to follow once you open it, weird things like ABC board stuff if you need clicks or links to that, things like the noise ordinance and nightlife permits. We try to keep this stuff current with all of the current stuff going on in the city. Lots and lots and lots and lots of information. So like I say, restaurants are published, retail is published. We're about to publish one for starting up childcare because that's also a highly complex business model. We also will be adding content for if you're trying to start a food truck, if you're trying to start like a personal service place, like a salon, a barbershop, something like that. So stay tuned. We'll be continuing to add content. Our goal is to add roughly 1 module each quarter, including some focus group activities to make sure we're getting it as correct and relevant as possible. So if you are working with folks that are starting up a business, we highly recommend checking that out. Let's see. And then finally, before we get to the insights, we do know that we get calls frequently. About 40% of the calls we get are for people looking for access to capital. And so we have listed the things that we do here with the city, state of North Carolina, Wake County. So we do the best job we can keeping this current. I will say I think there's at least one in here that is probably out of date, but we do try to at least provide some guidance of where financial resources might be, and hopefully that's helpful. Okay, so far so good. Let me pause for a second with just the website, and we can walk through some more of that. But okay so far. All right, just hop in or do a raise your hand thingy if there's any questions. So the next thing I wanted to cover is a little more detail about our small business insights tool. So this is the technology that I described earlier, that the city has made this investment in the tool. Local business intelligence is really the heart of it all. Small business advisor is the best practice and business plan stuff. I think I'll work my way backwards. Since we were just doing the startup roadmap, this one is closely related to it. So let me just click on that and show you what that looks like. So all of this technology is powered by a technology provider called SizeUp. They've been in this business for many years, and the way they aggregate all of their information is through a combination of publicly available information like tax records, census information, as well as commercial resources like I would guess like Yelp and Google and the usual suspects out there, as well as some of the consulting firms have paid for services that they invest in, and then they have some of their own algorithms as well to help. So the business advisor, it mirrors what we had for the startup roadmaps. This is on a more, I guess, general scale, but just to give you an idea what all is in here, when you go into the tool, it has a intro page. By the way, you can also show it all in native Spanish if you ever need to do that. Okay, go away. All right. we'll go back to English since I don't understand Spanish that well. And let's say you were trying to start a cafe. We'll just go here in general, Raleigh, North Carolina, get started. And it'll come up with a menu page of, how to think about your startup costs, things you're going to want to think about. It has video content to give you training on how to do some of that. The type of workplace, whether you're going to be, virtual office, the kind of things you're going to want to think about. Just a whole bunch of information in here. I know we don't talk about this in Shop Local Raleigh, so I won't dwell on it, but if you want to take a shortcut with the franchise, it even has stuff about that. How to figure out what your customer demand is, how to figure out where your geographies are. It can take you to, I guess, an error page. Oops, sorry about that. Anyway, I crashed the system, but hopefully that gives you an idea of the kind of information you can get in the retail or the, in the advisor tool. Let me go back. Looks like I crashed everything there. Small business advisor. Okay, here we are. We're back in there. So anyway, that is the small business advisor tool, and I recommend having a look at that. I'm going to reset my page and start over again since I've gotten myself into a corner. We'll go back to the insights page. So that's where we just were, is the small business advisor. So I want to now shift gears and go to kind of the heart of this technology, which is what we are generically referring to as local business intelligence. So this is where you can rank how your business stacks up or sizes up with other businesses like that in the city of Raleigh. You can also start using heat maps to find your customer, suppliers, and advertising targets. So let's just, I had restaurants already filled in here. So let's go ahead and just go into the tool here. And as you can see, you can do the 4 main modules are comparing your business, finding your customers and competitors, optimizing your advertising, and then just some general demographics. I'm just going to touch on this stuff very quickly, knowing that each one of these modules on our website, you can go to a short, actually it's kind of involved. I think there are almost 20-minute videos by the experts on how to get the most out of the tool to do all this stuff. So I'm just going to give you kind of the speed dial version of it. So if you have a restaurant and your business plan that you have in mind is, I think that I can make 1.5 million in revenue. What you can see is across the city of Raleigh, if you look at all the restaurants in the city of Raleigh, the average revenue is closer to 2.7 million. You can also compare it to the county and the state and beyond, but really the most relevant one is going to be the city of Raleigh. It'll show you the annual business revenue by zip code. So if you want to see, what zip codes have the highest restaurant revenues, you can get an idea with the heat map. You can look at things like, when you started your business. You can type in what you think the salaries would be. So let's just put in, I don't know, I'm just going to make up $30,000 and see what it comes back and tells us. And it'll say that, let's see, that is higher than what a typical restaurant in Wake County would be having. The tool can show you what the average business salaries are with heat maps, on and on and on and on. All kinds of information in here, the typical number of employees in your business, the cost effectiveness, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to belabor it. We have video tools that will help guide you through all these sub-modules, and you can go down the rabbit hole and learn all about competitive data for businesses like yours in the city of Raleigh. Let's see if I can go back to that prior page that has the things. Okay, yep, here we go. So same stuff here. If you're trying to figure out where to do your advertising, it can show you, population. It can draw circles around what you're trying to do. Here's one of the videos that show you how to actually step through that stuff. And so on and so forth. The demographics page, you can learn more about the demographics of the city of Raleigh. I think you might even be able to draw some shapes. That's roughly, if you can believe it, the city limit line for the city of Raleigh. So it's kind of a messy thing out on the edges, but yeah, I mean, you can identify where all of these demographics are on a heat map. Maybe you've got a business that caters to young adults. It'll show you where most of them live in the city of Raleigh, for example. So a lot of great demographic information here. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. This is like probably drinking from the fire hose, and we could spend all day on this if we wanted to. But like I say, what I would recommend is if you want to learn more about that tool, definitely check out the training videos, orientation videos on our city website in that module, and that'll show you how to get there. I probably should have stepped through any other. Let me go back to screen share just a little bit longer, and I'll fill out any of the final green squares that I wanted to make sure that you know about today. So let's see, share here. Share, you're going to see the heat map again. I'm going to go ahead and bail out of there. And now we're just back on our general page. So we have 20 of these green squares. We talked about some of this already. Access to capital, we didn't visit that, but that also talks about commercial banks, community development agencies, so on and so forth. Shows you who some of them are in the ecosystem. We are actually beefing this page up a little bit because it's a little sparse right now, but know that that's there. Let's see. There's a list of incubators and co-working spaces. So I know Shop Local Raleigh has done some events recently out at like Loading Dock. So we tried to have all of these different locations here. Just as a side note, as a city agency, we really are limited on, we're restricted on what we can show for-profit organizations. Generally, we try to limit ourselves to other government agencies or nonprofits. I know in the co-working space, a lot of the work they do is for-profit, but the work is so integral to the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We felt like it was important to still, have them listed here on this page. So know that they are there. So if you are or know a business that isn't ready for bricks and mortar but could use a co-working solution, we tried to list them all there. We also have our MWBE page, which is if you're a business trying to do business with the city of Raleigh, maybe it's a construction firm, maybe it's a firm doing other work that would require city procurement. This group here helps specialize with minority and women-owned businesses get involved with that process successfully and help them get certified to be able to do business with the city of Raleigh. We have a very basic page on our overall ecosystem for economic development. This includes organizations like Shop Local Raleigh. It includes teams like mine in small business development. It includes our MWBE city team, co-working spaces. Everybody who's anybody in the ecosystem is here. It's an incredibly boring web page, but we tried to capture everybody here. So for a new business owner that has no idea that any of this exists, hopefully that's helpful. Permits and licenses. There's a whole different world inside of city planning and development, but what we try to do is get you to the permits and licenses page, where from there you can kind of telescope your way into all the different permits that the city requires. I am not a permit expert. All I know is that it's really complicated, and the people that need the most assistance are small businesses that will probably only need to know this once when they build their business. So if we can ever be a resource to help you navigate the city's planning and development department, we'll do our best to connect you to the best resources we can as quickly as we can. There's some stuff about disaster recovery. Oh, some economic development reports that we put out. You already saw the calendar, the tool, a little bit about site selection, and I think that's most everything. I will pause briefly here. The Sustainable Business Toolkit is a cool resource if you're trying to find ways and be a good steward of the environment and the planet and the climate. We actually have a very well thought out suite of services and ideas and partners and resources for doing the right thing as a business owner and perhaps as a property owner. So know that that's all there as well. And finally, we have a little bit on workforce development. This is still a little bit of a frontier for us for small businesses, but know that there's even some resources we have listed that for a small business owner trying to find a workforce, perhaps there are some connections here that will help you fill those gaps. Okay, finally, now I'm going to stop sharing. So that is our city website in a nutshell. All of this is in our business resource guide, which this is about 1.5 years old now. So a lot of this is out of date. Our next version we'll be putting out later on in 2024, and it will be mirroring the information that we just walked through on the webpage. And then this is all the stuff that we were just looking at. You don't have to read it and take any notes, but when we go to expos and stuff, this is something we put on the tabletop. Also available in Spanish and 50 other languages, like I showed you. And then finally, if you want to take a picture of that, we have our QR code that'll take you directly to our small business homepage that you were just looking at. But again, you can just go to I'm sorry, not Shop Local Raleigh. That's a great place to go to learn about small businesses, but shoplocalraleigh.org. But the one I'm talking about is raleignc.gov. And then just go there and search for the words small business, and it should pop our page to the top of the list. Just click on it, and there you go. So that was a lot in 45 minutes, and I probably went a little faster than I should have, but hopefully there was enough good information there to, first of all, hopefully you learned something new, and you're now aware of some things that maybe you weren't aware of existing before. And I guess bottom line is, if any of that stuff you would like to learn more about any of these resources, first, I invite you to click on the page. But secondly, know that you have a team of people here, 4 of us, looking after about 26,000 small businesses in the city of Raleigh. We would be delighted to help you navigate our resources or any of our partner organizations as well. I know that we do our fair share of referrals of small business inquiries to just people randomly calling up, looking for advice or where to find out more about small businesses, and we'll send them over to Shop Local Raleigh and other partner organizations. So we all, I think we have a very collaborative ecosystem in our city that really makes us lucky compared to a lot of other cities out there. And use us all. If you're a small business owner, don't be shy. I know the folks at Shop Local Raleigh are delighted to take your calls. We are too, and all the other partners are as well. So I'm going to stop there and see if there are any questions, or if there's any other areas that you think that you'd like to explore. I'd be happy to look into that with you. I must have put everyone totally asleep with that. I guess just out of curiosity, for my benefit, is any of this new? Like, have you all learned anything new today that you didn't already know about, or is this old hat that you already knew about and you have just wasted 45 minutes of your life listening to me talk?
I'll say something. My husband and I are starting a gym, a fitness studio. And we just put in an application or a letter of intent for our spot. So we're hoping to hear back from them. But the loan program is huge for us. And then your website with all of the small business advisor tools and just that whole network that you put together. I mean, we're just super excited right now to like go and explore your website after this seminar. So we really, really appreciate everything that you've just like given us, a whole new world of help that we didn't know was there. So
Very cool.
yeah,
Very cool.
thank
Well, I'm
you.
excited about your new business. Congratulations on getting that ball rolling. And if you have any trouble navigating the tools or pages, let us know. And then also, if you are, going bricks and mortar, and the challenge with building upfit grant and facade grant is that you have to be in this really narrow time frame where you are ready to get started, but you haven't actually started yet. And if you're in that zone, please let us know. Please check out the Building Upfit Grant webpage if that seems like that might be a good fit for you.
Okay.
And if you're not quite there yet, then also please know that that's a quarterly program. Will be a cycle in the autumn. I think that'll start in September. So there's always another one coming. And if that is something that could benefit you, then by all means, I encourage you to check into it. And we'll be happy to, fill you in on more details then. Let's see, I just saw a little comment flash before my very eyes. Bakery marketing at Wake Tech. Oh, awesome. Wake Tech is one of our favorite business entrepreneurial partners with the Small Business Resource Center, and obviously all the training they provide for small businesses. So we do have Wake Tech on our homepage. And if you want to learn more about Wake Tech, it looks like Melissa could probably help us connect some dots there. So thank you for joining us today. All right. Any other questions I can help with today? Well, I want you to know that just with your attendance today, and if you're watching later, if you're not, if you weren't able to catch the live version and you're watching the recorded version from Shop Local Raleigh, just know that you are with, an organization with a very, very, very wonderful reputation in the small business community. Been around for many decades, not just years, and a rich legacy of events and programming and support for small business owners like yourselves. So we are all here to help, and happy to do so.
Yes, thank you so much, Mark. Your guys' website is a great resource, and I'm glad you got to show it today.
Thank you.
This was recorded, so if you guys happen to miss anything or want to pass this along to friends or coworkers or anything, you'll be able to find the recording on Shop Local Raleigh's YouTube as well as our blog. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or Mark. His contact, I believe, is on the website. If you want to share your email really quick, just
Yes, it's super easy. It's just mark.weldon, just like you see under my face there. mark.weldon@raleighnc.gov. So mark.weldon@raleighnc.gov. Happy to, and email is actually the best way to find me because it stays in front of my nose until I do something with it. So I will confess that sometimes I'm lame getting back to phone calls. Emails are wonderful. So happy to take any form of communication, but that one works the best.
perfect. Well, thank you so much, and thank you guys for joining today.
Thank you, McKenna. Thank you.